Right then, welcome back to Win or Bin, the channel where we take a look at games, break them down and decide whether they're worth your time or whether they belong straight in the bin. Now, I've never actually featured it on here before, but in my own personal downtime, I absolutely love playing the Guild 3, sinking hours into it, solo or competing with mates in multiplayer to build a massive trade empire. It was just brilliant fun. So when a brand new iteration was announced with a completely new development team taking over, my interest was immediately piqued. The demo for the Guild Europa 1410 is now out ahead of its full launch of the 16th of July. And I've just wrapped up a proper session with it. Think of this as a first impressions run to see if it's a triumphant return or heading for a ruthless trip to the bin. If you aren't familiar with the series, the core loop is a massive addictive mix of life sim, RPG and pure business strategy. You start from absolute scratch in a medieval city, and your goal is to build a family dynasty, expand your business interests, and use everything from legitimate politics to outright crime to climb the social ladder. For my demo run, I went straight for the innkeeper path from the choices you're given, and before long, I had a steady flow of beer and food moving through the doors, staff hired, and I was even working my way up the political side to bag myself a proper role within the city council. I was upgrading my character, expanding my home, and watching the coin roll in. On paper, it's everything a guild fan could want, and the core gameplay loop is honestly really bloody good fun. The visuals look lovely though, and the voice acting and sharp, witty little sound bites from the locals add a nice touch of humour to the whole thing. But, and there's a fairly sizable but here, as it stands right now, Europa 1410 does feel a bit less intuitive and a tad less deep than what I'm used to from my time playing the Guild 3. It looks nice, sure, but the world itself feels a little more soulless this time round. It just lacks a bit of bustle. The old game felt alive and chaotic, whereas this instance feels a bit sterile at times. Now, to be fair, this could absolutely be down to the fact that it's just a demo, but it definitely doesn't feel quite as involved or detailed as it stands right now. My biggest absolute gripe throughout the limited amount of turns the demo allows, I think it caps you at about 15 in total, was a complete lack of automation. In the earlier game, you could set up smart triggers to keep things ticking over while you focus on the grand strategy. Here, I don't see a sniff of it. I played for a fair old while and never came across any automation settings at all. That meant I had to keep manually ordering my cart to the market every single time my inn ran out of basic goods, rather than having some sort of trigger to send the cart out automatically. The same went for the staff. I had to keep manually assigning them to make things, rather than setting a threshold so they just get to work replenishing items automatically. It turns a grand dynasty simulation into a bit of a tedious clickfest, and I really hope that's just a demo limitation. There's also a distinct lack of clarity with certain mechanics. Some things just aren't obvious at all. For instance, figuring out exactly how to upgrade your status to a proper civilian took more guesswork than it should have. The same goes for the romance side of things. Knowing how to find and actually keep a love interest to secure your lineage feels a bit clunky and unexplained. A bit of UI polish and a clearer feedback would go a long way here. So where does that leave us for the final verdict? Look, it definitely feels a tad undercooked right now compared to its predecessor, but we have to account for the fact that this is a completely different development team trying to find their footing with a complex franchise, and it is still just a demo. The potential is absolutely there, and despite my complaints, the framework is solid and incredibly addictive. I genuinely want to play the full version when it drops on the 16th of July to really flesh my character and business out to see where I can end up. Because of the raw potential and how much fun I still had, and believe me, I did, the Guild Europa 1410 is sliding into the win category for win or bin. They've definitely got some homework to do to bring back that depth we know and love. Let me know in the comments if you've given the demo a go, and what business you're planning to run first. Be good to see if anyone else did the innkeeper option and see how far they got compared to me. Cheers for watching, and as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.